Coming back at you with another episode of the Empty Netters podcast, brought to you by the crisp, refreshing taste of Labatt Blue Light. Without a doubt, the number one beer to drink on any occasion, but right now, during the Stanley Cup playoffs, could you possibly think of a better brew to wet your whistle with?
This weekend, we had our lovely parents in town, and we did a little backyard barbecue for the crew. The friends get to see them. We get to hang with our parents. Everyone's having a good time. We had the cooler filled with everything, Dan. Yet again, the first thing emptied out is the Labatt Blue Light. And maybe it's because we're from Maine, which is basically Canada. There's some Maine kindness. There's some Canadian kindness in every sip and every brew. But I'm telling you what, dude, it is the hottest commodity at our barbecues.
Without a doubt. And you know what? Every time you open up a fridge or you open up a cooler or you get to the bar and you see that beautiful logo on tap, everyone goes like this, ooh, Labatt. It gets that reaction every time.
Crisp, clean, dude.
Absolutely. You do not need to sacrifice taste when you have a nice, refreshing, low-calorie Pilsner. And Labatt makes sure to never do that because this is the best tasting beer made by the best folks you'll ever meet up there in Canada. So guys, crack open a Labatt Blue Light. Get that unbelievable taste while you watch some hockey, while you hang with some friends. No matter what you're doing, it's got to be the go-to beer.
Get your paws on them.
We're ready to rock.
Woo! Oh, brother.
It is the Eastern and Western Conference Finals of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Guys, we recorded after we went on the NHL Megacast. We got one game under our belts, but now we've got 3 2/3 that we got to talk about here. We're watching the third period of the Panthers-Carolina game. Cats got on the board early. It's a 1-0 game. It looks like they might be going up 3-0 in this series. The Knights are up 2-0 over the Stars. This is crazy shit. We've had playoff games in every single tilt here. We got to see the Canes score right here, maybe. That would have been the greatest live reaction of all time.
Damn it.
We got to see the Canes score here. But goalie Bob looks like a fucking wall.
Brick wall, baby. Here's the thing. Every game's gone to overtime, but we might be looking at a 3-0 and a 2-0. Isn't that insane?
Absolutely
I feel like it's
crazy.
the closest the games can possibly be, and we're going to get 2 sweeps. We're going to get 1,000 overtime periods and 2 sweeps.
Talk about...
was that pipe dreams?
That might have got pipe. Oh,
wow.
No, saved to pipe. Talk about series score lines that don't represent the game.
Wow.
You know, this shit has been absolutely insane. I thought game 1 of Vegas-Dallas was...
What a hockey game. Let's start with that
I
series,
think that was genuinely the best hockey game I've seen these playoffs. That was the most balanced game. Just 2 phenomenal teams going punch for punch. Wild stuff. Great goals. Great hockey going all over the place. We're going to get into those... both these series here, we're going to get into that one first. But before that, I want to talk about a couple of things. One, the Arizona Coyotes Twitter admin is out of his mind right now. I don't know if you guys have seen this.
I actually haven't.
Whoever runs that Twitter, after the Arizona news broke, they tweeted something like, if this gets 20,000 likes, we'll release our new stadium location plans. And people were like, you don't have plans. They got voted
He's
down.
like, it's Tempe.
And then,
like, no.
and then after, I think it got like 50,000 likes. They replied to the tweet, and it was like a link to Rick Astley's like "Never Gonna Give You Up" or whatever. So I was like, all right, interesting. And then today they posted a poll that was like top choices for the Coyotes relocation, and all 4 options on the poll were Arizona.
Here's a human element.
like,
Here's
dude.
a human element question. Yeah. Oh, wow. Interesting. So Bri and Dan, I don't know if you clicked it. They're 4 in a row like this, and all 4 are Arizona. Which one do you think is winning?
C, 3.
I would say A.
So I obviously clicked C3 because I'm a fucking normal member of society, and that came in second. The true narcissistic psychopaths of society have all clicked A, and that is winning at 33%.
That's a joke. Everyone knows you go 3
You
or
go
C.
C every time, dude.
What the hell
You're a
are
fucking
you
serial
two
killer,
talking
dude.
about?
That was nuts.
You
went
don't
A.
know an answer on a test. It's C.
It's C every time.
I just said A, and I'm right. How am I wrong here?
Because you are tapped, dude. You're not wrong. You just belong in jail. You belong to be in
I
jail.
just don't listen. If you guys, if the results were a resounding C, I would be like, okay, fair, but they're not. So what the hell's happening here?
Well, not everyone does well on tests. Just me and Brian.
We should
and
put a
smart
poll in the
people.
story right now and just have it be this, like all the same answer and see what the right one is.
Yeah,
Agree.
do that right now. But how do you guys justify me being right here?
No, I mean, like, you got it right, but I'm saying, like, on a test, it's C.
But it's always C,
That
dude.
is so crazy. Oh, wow. All right. Well, the funny thing that is to me is that the person who works for the Yotes and handles their Twitter, I love that this person is just such a diehard Arizona person. Like they are not accepting the results of this bid, and they're just being like, we're not fucking leaving. We're not leaving Arizona. And it's just a lovely thing to see. I can't tell if it's sad or if it's awesome.
I think it's awesome.
If they relocate, you got to keep that person. You've got to move them. But they'll probably not go because they love Zona, which I get. The desert is where it's at. All right, let's get into this Vegas-Dallas series. Vegas up 2-0. Like I said, I thought game one was electric. I thought it was such good hockey. Shots were 37-36. No power play goals.
And not that many chances.
No,
0-2 for Dallas, 0-1 for Vegas.
It was just solid hockey going back and forth. It's interesting that they're up 2-0. Vegas is up 2-0 because this is one of those things where we might go to Dallas and bang, they win 2 games and bang, we're tied 2-2. And I'm hoping that happens. I'm pulling for Vegas in this on the record, but I want a 7-game series because these two teams are just so goddamn fun. And it was wild to see, like all the guys were going and fuck, man, it was just so fun.
Dude, Robo opens it,
Yep.
which is the dream of every Stars fan there. Like, please get him going, immediate goal. And that's like, that wasn't an accident, by the way, but those tips are just the ones you need to see go in if you're him. Oh my God. You need to see go in if you're him. So that was fantastic. Carlson ties it in the second. Carlson takes the lead in the third, and then Rupe Hintz ties it, who has just been disgusting.
Oh my God, Rupe
and is got to be your Con's my favorite now. I love your. This was off the air, but I love what you said to me earlier.
I think it's Bob, no doubt.
He's just leading the league in points by so far.
But I mean, someone always is, and Rupe, it's him. I like the call of him or Rupe. I put Jack in there too, dude.
Yeah. Oh my God. But he's been fantastic. And really, like, I remember when we did the Dallas preview, we were like, they got a lot of guys, a lot of experience. Hintz can hurt you. And he's just been like, I am the Dallas Stars. Dude. Yeah, which has been fantastic.
He is truly elite too, like some of his goals. But I want to jump in real quick. You talked about Robo's goal. Absolutely great to get Robo on the board. I thought with how good of a game it was, I thought that was a super sloppy goal by Vegas. Really bad.
Yeah.
Really bad turnover behind the net from Pietrangelo. Yeah. Then it goes out to Riley Smith, who totally mishandles the puck. And then we get the shot on net from Rupe. Great tip from Robo. I got to say this, though. This might be a hot take. I really did not like the reaction from Robo.
Oh.
Robo's goal celebration reaction was a like head back, double fist pump, like laughing almost, because he was looking so relieved. He was like, thank God, I finally got a goal. And well, there's a part of me that loves that because he's just a kid playing the game.
Yeah.
The other part of me is like, that's a sign of weakness, dude. Do not show that you are affected by this. Do not show that you are thinking about this. I don't want you to ever be thinking about the fact that there's a monkey on your back. Just go out there and play hockey. I would have rathered which is a similar reaction. I would have rathered like fired the fuck up, fist pump,
punch the glass,
slam the glass, like, oh, I'm hot now, look out. And
okay.
So I didn't love it. And listen, I'm being annoying with this take, but I didn't like it, dude.
Would you acknowledge that a punching the glass, I'm fired up, is also acknowledging the monkey?
Absolutely. Okay. But it's just a different vibe at it. It's, you acknowledge the monkey and you're here to snap its neck.
Break the monkey's neck. Kill the monkey.
Yeah. But this
Robo's out here petting the monkey.
Or it's like he got it off and he's like, oh, thank God you're off, you whippersnapper.
But we'll always be buddies.
And I'm like,
wish you well in your life.
Rip that monkey's throat.
Take his tail, wrap it around its own neck, and pull as hard as you can. That should be his goal, Sally.
We like animals on this show.
Protect our monkeys.
Protect our goalies. Protect our
goalies.
Wow.
So,
should I leave that in?
No, you've got to rip that monkey's throat. So I didn't love that from Robo.
I can't tell if I'm on your side there. As long as you're accepting that, I think it's healthy to acknowledge the monkey and be like, dude, holy shit, I needed a goal so bad. Mm-hmm. So I was about to disagree with you, but you accept the acknowledging of the monkey, so I'm with you there. I think So yeah, maybe I'm on board. Like
if you're gonna acknowledge the monkey, kill the monkey.
Kill him. Yeah, kill him. Because I agree that laugh was kind of, I would have laughed. Like I could see myself doing that. So I was like, no, I'm with it. But I wish he got more pissed. Now that you say it, I'm like, oh, it would have been cooler to see him be like, come on, because he was so pumped instead of just like.
By the way, I want it very clear. I fucking love Robo.
Yeah,
so I'm not calling him out. I didn't like the like. Thank God.
Yeah. Okay.
Felt,
I like that take.
Where do you stand on Willie's second goal?
First goal, bad.
First goal, bounce off the boards. Second goal, Willie gets it. Fans on the shot.
Yeah, for sure, fan. For sure.
Here's a question for you.
For sure, fan.
Talking about your boy.
Yeah.
Is that bad from Otter, or is that just so unlucky? Because Otter, that in my opinion, Willie's trying to go top cheese, glove side. And I think Otter sees that too and is adjusting for it, and then it flubs off his stick and goes 5-hole, and Otter's like, you lucky bitch, dude.
Yes, dude. I have something to say about goal 1 later, but goal 1 is the same to me. I can see people, I remember Tim Thomas happening all the time. I can see people being like, Otter, how are you out of position, Otter? Like, Buck, the shot misses the net, bounced out the other side, and Carlson's got an open net. And I'm like, he's playing his angle, dude. That was an unlucky active boards behind him, bad bounce. Carlson was in the right place at the right time. And I completely agree with the second one. That I'm like, that was bad D, and now Carlson is walking nude down the slot, and he's looking high glove, and you are ready for high glove.
Yeah, and he heals the shot, and somehow sneaks 5-hole.
And you're like, oh, dude. What? So it's a tough break, but I don't actually have either of those on him that badly.
I don't think I do either. And it's tough because, you're giving up 4 goals in the game. It doesn't look that great, but some of them are just not really your fault. And at the end of the day, Vegas had 37 shots on net. That's a good game from Otter. Goes to OT, you're doing your job.
But let me talk about that.
Yeah,
because first of all, Jamie Benn ties it with 2 minutes left. Sick, great goal. Amazing stuff. We go to OT, and then Howden from behind the cage. Quick shout out to anybody playing hockey at any level. In overtime, put pucks on net. Shout out Anthony Figlioli, York High State champ, behind the goal line, pucks on net, it goes in, dude. So I loved that play from him. He was probably butthurt that he almost, that was a crazy good pass from Stone that Howden could have just put in immediately.
Yeah.
But quick, great turn on forehand, backhand, behind the net, get it right back out front. That one from Otter did bother me. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. He was spinning around like a top.
On the OT goal.
Yeah, he kind of stepped on it, which was like, good luck that they just shot it out and he kind of stepped on it. But he does like an extra spin. Like Stone passes over, he kind of gets clipped, and then he's just like spinning around in circles in the net. And I'm like, yo, dude, what are you doing?
Well, I think
just retreat into the cage.
Yeah, I think what happened was I had something to say about that. That was for me, dude, that was a you lucky bitch, Howden.
Yeah.
In terms of that pass from Stone.
So good.
Was so money. And then Howden whiffs the 1T.
Yeah.
And then just desperation grabs it and kind of throws it and it goes in. Otter spinning around. It was a weird play for me where it almost felt like Otter's playing for the 1T. It's then whiffed.
He goes way wide.
Recover. And it looks like that puck is going behind the net and out the other side. And I think that's what happened to him. I think he was like, shit, that's coming this way.
Yep.
And then Howden grabbed it and brought it back. And then he was like, oh God, it was a mess.
And we've seen Wall even, it happened to, when you know how goalies get caught doing this, they're looking over the shoulder. Like it's coming this way and they're looking over here. And then if it's over there, you're screwed.
Yeah.
So I would hear an argument that maybe Otter was literally fully turned around. Because he was like, I just need to know where it is. But he just kept spinning, dude. And I was like, bro, stop.
Just stop.
Spinning around.
You're out of
this
control.
Is insane.
But talking about Otter's game, let's talk about Bluger's goal.
Yep.
That was questionable. That was a tough one where, in terms of questionable, I mean, I liked that it was challenged and I liked the call.
Oh, you do? I wanted to ask you about
it. Because to me, Suter had the primary contact there that pushed the Vegas player into Otter.
Yeah.
It was without question, dude, the primary contact. And here's the deal, dude. These guys are coming in, going 1,000 miles per hour. There's obviously going to be push and pull. But at the end of the day, if I bury a forward into my goalie, I think that's sorry, dude, don't hit a player into your own goalie. And that's what happened.
Yeah.
So I liked that it was reviewed, but I liked the call. But that was another one where I was like, who could be mad at Otter there? An opposing player goes flying into him and knocks him out of the crease. So it's like, That was tough, dude. 3 goals in regulation. That was like, shit.
Not really on
really
it. And
not on him at all.
I'm picking nits on his OT goal too, so I'm
Yeah.
not really that mad at him. I just thought it was funny. I was like, get your shit together, dude.
Yeah.
But I agree. You actually talked me into it because live, I felt like that should get called back because there's just too much, and I stand by this, but it's a question of fault. There's just too much carnage in his net in front of him to make a save. Like, he is literally being sat on.
Mm-hmm.
So you're like, he can't make a save. And I was like, this could come back. But I have always, as a forward in most of my career, I have always hated that if I'm set my edges, if I go wide around a D and set my edges and cut across the net, even if a goalie lunges out with a poke check and ended up getting my knee in the head, I was like, this is your fault, dude. Like, I am well within my rights to cut across the net. If my cut across is going right through the crease into the goalie, then we have a different conversation. But if I'm above the crease and I either get hit by the defenseman
that's
or
the
the goalie
difference,
lunges, I'm like, this is my lane, dude. You don't come in here my lane unless you want contact, which is fine.
Agree. It's a difficult play because at the end of the day, if you set your edges and I bury you, that's me playing good defense.
Yeah.
But I think it is as a defenseman, once upon a time, I think it is the defenseman's job to not bury you into my goalie.
So that's what I was
And
saying.
here's the thing, dude. If a forward has set his edges and it is between you and your goalie, you've been beat, sir. And
So don't hit him.
When you bury them into your goalie, that's because you are like, this is my last ditch effort because I got beat. And I'm like, you got to do something else, man. You've got to get a
Stick.
good clean
Get on his
poke
stick,
check.
dude.
You got to
Yeah.
get on his stick, prevent a shot. Because yeah, man, that's tough. It's almost like when a goalie knocks the net off the pegs intentionally. If I bury you into my goalie and then everyone goes flying into the net, the ref blows it dead, and I'm like, oh well, what can you do?
Yep.
It's like, yeah, so it's one of those difficult ones where Otter was completely fucked and hung out to dry there and could have done nothing, but I think they made the right call on the ice. So it's brutal.
Yes, I think that's correct. But really tough bid.
So that game obviously goes to OT. Pretty quick goal there for Vegas. Vegas goes up 1-0 in the series at home. No big deal, right?
Yep.
No skin off your ass.
Like you said, evenly matched game across most metrics. One thing I was shocked by, Vegas won like almost 60% of the faceoffs in game 1, and Dallas dominated that against the Spunk. So I was like, I'll keep an eye on that. And then Dallas won 55% in game 2, and I was like, there they are.
I gotta say, man, Jack Eichel is a franchise center.
He's the man.
And he is playing in his first ever playoffs. He's well above a point per game in these playoffs. He's making just colossal plays. He is such a we got chirped for a video we made a little while ago comparing him to McDavid, and I think people don't understand that the comparison was the fact that they were drafted together. Yeah. Jack Eichel is a phenomenal player, and I gotta say, there are some great players on this Vegas team, great wingers. I think Mark Stone is one of the best in the league. I think Marchessault is so good. Willie Karlsson is so good. I am very, very excited to see Jack Eichel, hopefully soon here, get a full season under his belt, a full 82 games, with a great winger that he loves playing with, also playing a full 82 games, because I think this kid's point total could skyrocket.
Tell me about it, dude.
Could
say
skyrocket.
Less, bro.
And watching him
agree.
watching him play in these playoffs, dude, he is such a certified number one center, and he's a franchise type player. Everyone in Buffalo knew it. That's why everyone got so butthurt. And I'm talking about my beloved Sabres, but a lot of the fans got really butthurt about that exit. But the guy has just stepped up, and it's incredible to see because he's playing such good hockey, and they're winning, man. And that takes me right into game 2. You go into game 2. If you're the Stars, you really want to get this one. I stand by. It's okay if you don't, because we're going back to Dallas now for 2 games. Let's see what happens. But this game, much different story, right? 28-24 in the shots in favor of Dallas. I think the fact that Vegas came into this game with a 17.1% power play.
Oh, dude.
That is so bad.
Them and Carolina are the 2 worst power plays.
Vegas has the worst power play of teams remaining in the playoffs. And they got one in this game. They went 1 for 2. But like, dude,
5 on 3 though.
Yep.
The
fact that you are up 2-0 in a series and you're in the conference finals when your power play is that bad speaks a lot about how good your team is.
Especially 5 on 5, right? Because Dallas' weapon is special teams. They have a great PK and they have a great power play. And Vegas doesn't have any of that to rely on. So I think that's really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, much more possession for Dallas. I thought one thing I was watching was, does Robo stay hot? Bang, power play goal, and a pretty good one. Does Otter bounce back? Not that we thought any of those goals were his fault, but I thought Otter made some sick saves in this game.
Yeah, and I thought he was super unlucky on the power play goal. It was a pass out front.
Yep.
Hits a skate.
Yeah, hits Suter, I think. Or maybe Suter moved his stick, but
No, I think so. I believe it was either. I think it was Marchessault down low, maybe Eichel down low. No, I think
they were looking for Eichel backdoor.
And it just went right off a skate, and Stone was just standing there to punch it in. There's really nothing you can do. Good Lord, look at these saves from goalie.
That one blocker save is so ridiculous.
It is outrageous, dude.
But yeah, but I thought Otter made great saves. A couple 2-on-1s late.
Chris.
That was insane.
Otter had a save on Waugh at the end there. It was like, a huge play at the end of the game in the third period, and it was like a monster stop. He had a bunch of odd man rush stops. Otter is... It's tough. I feel like he is. If you look at score lines, I feel like a lot of people would be like this. Yeah, Otter's really not performing like he should have performed, but I just don't. I don't agree. I think something that was very apparent in game one and certainly in this game, the Stars need to clean shit up in the crease, man. The amount of these, bank off goals, redirect goals, tap in goals on the doorstep. Otter's making saves. You got to clean that shit out.
Help your boy
out with those second chances. You've got to whack those pucks away. You've got to get it out of those high danger scoring areas. Dallas has to really lock down their crease defense because so many of these goals are these second chance opportunities, redirects, ricochets. Like, you got to have active sticks in there and clear that shit out,
dude. First of all, I'm pretty sure they said this on the broadcast live. Oh, Christ. So I'm not making this up myself. And also, we are truly never here to dog anyone in the NHL. That's not why we do this.
Yeah.
They are humans, and they're 8 billion times better at hockey than me. So all good. But on the Vegas tying goal in game 2, that was horrible from Suter. Eichel dumped it in, dude. And Otter just directs it to the corner, and Suter has full possession, dude. And he has Heiskanen with a easy, soft chip behind the net, or hard rim. And he goes just hard enough to pass it to Barbashev on the half wall, who goes right back down to Eichel, who makes a sick pass. Sick backhand no-look pass. But then Marchessault's standing in front, and Suter gets back cut by him. Like, he turns it over, and then just comes into the slot and is standing there, instead of being like, I wonder if there's a guy out here in the slot. And it's like, bang, before he can look, it's behind him on Marchessault's tape and in the back of the net. And I'm like, that is one of the worst 7 seconds you could ever have.
Yeah.
Except for anyone who spends a night with me in the bedroom. But otherwise, that is it. That is the worst 7 seconds.
Wow. That was a good joke.
Fuck yeah, bro.
It was like really on the fly. Too.
Yeah. That's all. I mean, I don't know if it's a joke when it's true, but it was great delivery. Dude, I was going to say he's old.
Yeah, he is old.
Get
He's
off
old.
his ass, dude.
That's
He's
what
an
old
old
people
man.
do. That's what old people do.
You know what? I do kind of love seeing Suter out here.
Me too. I'm rooting
like
for the guy.
The Parisi and Suter buyouts felt like, ages ago. And the fact that he's on a potential Stanley Cup team here is like really cool.
And I will say this in his defense, or not maybe his defense, but just to have his back a little bit here. I guess that's the same thing, but I'm not defending his play is what I'm saying. He knows. That used to bother me and you all the time if I make a bad play and I go back to the bench and I'm getting an earful from the coach, if it's something like if I turned the puck over in the slot, I know, dude. Like, you don't always need to get you screamed at. So no one is mad. I know Dallas fans are mad at Suter for that play. No one is madder at Suter than Suter.
Yeah, no
so,
doubt.
I think, he's out there giving it everything.
Obviously you're getting a couple wins, but I think, God, Matty Tkachuk doing it everywhere on the ice, blocking shots. Whoop. What?
Oh, damn it.
Oh, yeah, there he is.
Go ahead,
again,
Matty.
getting in a scrap. Matty. I would die for Matty.
Yeah, he's such a beast, dude.
Told you, dude. He's a top 4 player off the board. I was going to say, obviously, 2 wins for Vegas, but I think in these 2 games, Petrangelo's had a couple of tough plays where he's been caught out on the ice. And you can see it in his face, too.
That was the Robo...
These elite players, they know when they're fucking up. And yeah, you're right. No one hates it more than themselves. You mentioned Robo's goal.
Yeah.
What do you think about this?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
I think Robo's got to stop scoring.
Wow, dude. I love this.
Here's the deal. Robo has 4 goals in these playoffs. and they're in the Western Conference Finals, so a lot of wins.
Yeah.
With his 4 goals, they have lost 3 of the 4 games that he has scored in.
This is the thing that people are missing. This was going to go completely under the radar. No one's aware of this. If I am Dallas, I sit Jason Robertson down and I say, the puck gets on your stick,
you even think
and
about
you even
shooting.
look at the goal, you are benched for the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Pass the puck.
The math checks out.
Pass the puck, dude.
You've lost 3 of 4 games when he scores. Coincidence? You be the judge.
People gotta run to the comments being like, these fucking idiots.
These guys don't know puck, dude. But no, it's obviously good that Robo's going. I thought that, the other side of the coin I mentioned I didn't like his reaction on the goal in game 1. The confidence of the goal. I mean, dude, that was just a quick reaction. Puck's on your stick, puck's in the back of the net.
Yeah.
I think you feel great about 2 overtime losses, and all of a sudden your best player is going. Dude, I meant to say this when we're talking about game 1, but it's still applicable here. Joe Pavelski and Rupe Hintz are sickos, dude.
Yes.
They are so
deranged.
Disgusting at hockey, and they play so well together. It is just wild to see these guys. And yeah, you just got to feel like the same situation here for this series. By the way, we got an empty net here with 3 minutes left. Rod the Bod needs to tie this game up. You just don't feel like you're getting beat that bad when you lose 2 OT games and you're down 2-0. So if you're Dallas, I think you keep that head way, way up because you've got your best players are really going here. I think Otter's been unlucky, so I do think he is playing well, and you've been, a chin hair away from winning these 2 games. One thing I'm going to say about Vegas, huge goalie Bob save. My little chirp on Vegas. They are down in game 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Go into the 3rd period. The Fortress, T-Mobile, was very quiet.
Oh.
To the point where I was watching that game and I was like, dude, the atmosphere in here is dead. And then the announcers calling the game were like, this is about as quiet as you will ever hear it in T-Mobile Arena. And I was like, yeah, dude, the fans are not in it. I don't know if it was a Sunday hangover or what.
Yes, Sunday games. It was Sunday early games in Vegas.
And I will say, credit where credit's due, that Marchessault goal was so sick. That pass from Jack Eichel and then the finish from Marchessault, elite level hockey. And then the barn went absolutely berserk. It was, 0 to 100, literally.
Yeah.
But I just got to say, dude, you can't quit on these boys like that. Don't just be there in the good times. Be there when they're battling back. About Jonathan Marchessault.
Yes.
You very, very astutely said a few episodes ago, here are their top scorers during the season. Here are their top scorers during the playoffs. And they're borderline identical.
Yep.
And this is why you've got a team with a 2-0 lead in the Western Conference Finals, because your big boys are doing the job. Marchessault had been a little quiet on the score sheet until Game 6 against Edmonton. And now this series.
Yes.
Marchessault is very awake, and that I do not like if you're Dallas.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're Dallas, you really like how Hintz and Pavelski are out of control. Now Robo's awake. I think Otter is still playing well.
Me too.
You feel good. You do not feel good about Marchessault being so lively right now.
Yes. Especially because the way things have happened. So obviously Florida, Carolina went to 8 billion overtimes, but how quick things have happened. Almost every other overtime game is ending in 3 minutes, right? The barn gets going after the Marchessault goal, and actually Wyatt Johnson had a sick chance, like 50 seconds at OT. But how often do you see that? If you don't get yours right there, bang. Wyatt Johnson was barely off the ice before Vegas started to score.
Truly.
Game. So yeah, you give them a little breathing room at all. It's big trouble. Yeah. Can I say something to you about Mark Stone?
Does anyone have anything mean to say? Yes, you can, of course.
Mark Stone was having a big season for the Ottawa Senators when they traded him to Vegas.
Yes, he was.
And then he got that fat daddy extension.
Yes, deserved it too.
8 years, 76, whatever it was. That's fucking your grandkids have a pool house money, dude.
Yeah. Mark Stone, give me one of those million.
Dude, give me one room in the pool house.
Invite me over for supper one time.
Invite me to dinner once, bro.
We're going to be in Vegas.
God damn. Anyway, I thought that was a massive overpay when they did that.
I know you did. I actually remember that. And you know what? I'm not going to hang you out to dry. I don't think you were alone there. I think a lot of people were like, oh, this guy's not going to perform.
Yeah. It just seemed like he was, getting his on that Ottawa team. And I was like, whatever, dude.
No.
He arrives in Vegas their second year. They were in the Cup the year before. He arrives in the second year. They lose in the first round in that bonkers Sharks game, Game 7, with the major. But he has 12 points in 7 games. Then they go to the Western Conference Finals. The next year, he has 17 points in 20 games. They go to the Western Conference Finals again. He has 8 points in 19, which is not great, but still, it's producing a little bit. Missed the playoffs. And then in 13 games so far this year, he's got 6 and 9 for 15 points. He's behind Hintz and still behind McDavid and Leon and Tkachuk and Bouchard. Jesus, Edmonton. Fucking have the leading scorers in the playoffs still.
That's insanity.
But Eichel also 6 and 9. He's been great. I love Jack. You know this. But Stone's got 3 points in this series, 4 and 6 against Edmonton, 8 and 5 against the Jets. Dude, I was dead wrong about this dude.
Yeah.
And don't forget, his injury is what cooled off Vegas's nuclear regular season run, too.
Yeah.
That's what did that.
Yeah.
He does everything on this team.
Oh, my God.
He plays
dude.
D, he scores, he is a disher, man. It is incredible. He is the man. He's in charge. He gets the last piece of pizza. He sits in the good lazy boy.
He gets the big piece of chicken.
He picks the movie. He runs this shit. I'm in charge. Jay run this shit.
This is my smart tech. That I run this bitch.
I run this bitch. Mark Stone runs this bitch. Dude. I didn't realize that Mark Stone runs this bitch, but he does.
I was going to call out Mark Stone is daddy.
He's daddy.
He is daddy in Vegas, and he is a captain too. I love when you see guys, Patrice Bergeron, top of mind, obviously. You see guys who have that C on their sweater, and you're like, yeah, dude, you are a captain. That aye, sir. And Mark Stone earns that level.
Yeah.
Big time. And to see a winger playing the way that you just described, he is up there in that. Like, you are playing in all 3 phases of the game every single night, day in and day out. That is daddy. And he is a big boy in Vegas. And God, does he performs every night.
Every night. Heavy dick.
Oh my God, dude. If you want to know what show to see when you go to Vegas that's going to put out every single night, it's Mark Stone.
Yeah.
If they're not playing, go to his house, dude. I bet he's chefing up a Gordon Ramsay style.
Yeah, me too, dude.
It's fucking unbelievable. That guy is locked down.
So credit to him. Please accept my sincere apology and invite me to the fucking pool one time.
Yeah. If King Chuck has any honor at all, he will knight Mark Stone at the end of these playoffs.
Last thing I got for you on this series, unless you got something else.
No.
Do you think Dallas wins Game 3?
I do.
Me too.
I think Vegas wins this series, as you know. I think Dallas takes care of business. I think they're playing well.
Me too. And like everything you said, people are going, Otter's good, can't go down 3-0.
No.
I think they do it. Back home cooking.
All right, let's get into it. Canes have been looking probably like the best team in the playoffs until this series. They are down 3-0. Savage overtime losses in games 1 and 2. Now they go to Sunrise. Florida gets on the board. Canes can't match. And that's game. 1-0.
No one can kill every penalty, obviously. But we were laughing earlier. The Canes have a horrific power play, and the Cats don't have a very good PK. They actually had a pretty good series against Toronto, but traditionally they had a horrible series against Boston. The Cats have a pretty good power play, but the Canes have the best PK. So I was like, it's kind of funny. They're strength and strength on both, or weak and weak on both, whatever you want to call it, but it's a funny matchup. And again, you're not going to kill every penalty, but power play goal is the difference tonight. Power play goal in overtime game 2. So it's like that one thing that you're like, well, at least we're best at that is again, hard to say failing you because you can't stop all of them, but I'm like, oh man, dude. You don't want to give up those when that's your real big weapon.
We talked about game 1, so quickly we got to touch on game 2. Brindamore said after that overtime loss in game 1, which was utterly preposterous. We talked about this. He was like, that sucks. Dude.
Sucks.
Losing that game sucks. So now you come out in this game. Canes outshoot the Panthers 38-26. You're doing your job.
Game 2?
Yeah,
Yep.
This is game 2. Feels so good to get on the board early. In 2 minutes, boom, Canes score. Then, dude, White rings the pipe 30 seconds later, and then Forsling scores a minute later, but it gets called back for offsides. Then Canes get one, called back for offsides.
Yep. Both correct calls.
Absolutely agree.
So it was fair.
One thing I got to say, on the Canes goal, horrific clear by Radko Gudas again.
Yeah, dude, what is he doing?
And I'm going to be honest, dude, huge win tonight for Florida, so like you don't have to make any adjustments, but if I'm Gudas and I'm watching the game film, dude, clean that shit up, bro, because this is like, that is not a good look. But you're fighting, you're scratching, you're clawing, you're out shooting them, but these are good games between two good teams. And then, dude, just like Sasha scores the sexiest goal of the playoffs.
Dude.
That Alexander Barkov goal was just despicable. Dude.
Yeah.
So disrespectful.
It was practice, dude.
Are you kidding me? Do the fake between the legs, but then he pulls it back out, and the calm patience.
Anyway,
he was just like, yep.
And dude,
Ranta, you can't push off.
He
I have frozen.
He was literally in a full split with his arms out wide, and was just like,
he got frozen,
shoot it.
And then went in a full split and couldn't push off because he was already in a full split. And then Barkov just waited, and was like, yeah, you can't go anymore.
Yep.
And then just flipped it into the net. That was, honestly, they won the game with that goal.
Oh, man.
It was just, dude, this team.
Zombies.
They are zombies. They cannot be killed. It was ridiculous.
Okay, here's what I got. A couple of things about game 2 for me. First of all, Pog. Say it with me.
Pog.
Protect our goalies.
Protect them.
Brindamore said it wasn't even a tough decision to sit down Freddie because he's a co-founder of Pog, apparently. I didn't even know that, but me and him are in this together, dude. So I'm so happy to see that the movement is alive and well. Our goalies will be protected moving forward for these playoffs.
How's their record with the Protect Our Goalie Foundation? Looks like it's 0-3 to me.
Well, listen, that has nothing to do with protecting
I'm
goalies.
just saying that the team that has not protected their goalie is up 3-0 in the series.
They should start protecting Bob.
I don't think so.
Think about sitting Bob down.
You're pampering these boys.
So
you're crippling them. You're crippling them for life.
So protect our goalies. Thank you very much. Coming into this game, I was thinking to myself, if I'm Carolina, here's what...
We still in game 2?
Yeah. Here's what is a bummer. Or sorry, leaving game 2, coming into this game. But like post game 2, what was a bummer was both teams in this series were undefeated when they scored first. Carolina scored first in both games, lost both games.
Yep.
Both teams were undefeated since 2021 in overtime in the playoffs coming into this series. Both games went to OT. Carolina lost both games. Carolina was 11-2, I think it was, at home in the playoffs coming into this series. Both games at home, Carolina loses both games. So if I'm a Canes fan, even though I'm like, man, I'm outplaying them, I'm out shooting them, I'm out everything them, you're like, fuck, dude. Like those were kind of some of the staples and the foundation of what has given us success.
Yeah.
We're winning games at home. We're winning when we get the lead. We're winning in overtime, and that is gone. That is not going well for you anymore. Not great. What I was going to say coming into the game was, though, they beat the shit out of Florida last night, or 2 nights ago, whenever that game was. In the first and the third, specifically. Second was pretty even. So I'm like, you just come out and play your game. And as much as I wanted to say that to them tonight, they did kick the shit out of them again tonight. And lost again.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know what to tell them. They're doing nothing wrong. They hit 3 fucking posts. I don't know if you just watched that montage when we were talking.
I did.
They hit 3 posts tonight again.
Some of those were, I think 2, maybe 1.5 were off saves though. So that is a save to me.
Okay.
I mean, it is.
Yeah.
It's literally marked as a save.
Correct.
It's interesting because what I want to say is, for the first time, they have seen adversity and they are collapsing. But it's so hard to call these collapses. Like you said, what were the shots today? 34-17?
Something like that. It was crazy, yeah.
So it's brutal, man. But at the end of the day, you're being frustrated. And frustration can kill you. We said it many episodes ago that we think that this Florida team is really, really looking like that 2012 Kings team. Biz on Chicklets actually said exactly that earlier this week. And It does feel like that way, man. This Panthers team is just they've beat you down mentally and physically. They are so frustrating to play against. And then the biggest thing, without question, dude, is Bobrovsky. Bobrovsky is the best goaltender in the playoffs right now. He has been since he started game 2 or 3 against Boston. And you can't break this team down, dude. They're playing as such a solid unit, and it's so frustrating.
I said on the Megacast that this team is built to sustain pressure. They can get outshot 20 shots in a row, and if you don't break, then it doesn't matter. Listen, and that's exactly what they do.
I don't think any coach or any team will go into a locker room and say, hey, we had 17 shots tonight. Good job, guys. Like, we played our game. Yep. That is not enough, correct, dude. Like, that was a bad offensive performance from the Panthers. So definitely they've got to work on that. But you're right. I don't think they're like in that locker room like, fuck me. They're like, yeah, dude, we know what we're doing.
This is how we do.
We can withstand your onslaught. Mm-hmm. That's how we are built, to bend and not break. It really is that crazy, crazy mindset. And they're executing it perfectly. To go back to game 2, Bob, dude, is making the most preposterous saves I've ever seen. He had a save on Teravainen in the end of game 2 with the blocker that was just out of this world.
And he almost basically did the same fucking thing tonight against Aho.
And then I've got a thought that I'd like to share with you. With the last 10 minutes of the third period in game 2, Jordan Staal comes down on all the time in the world 2-on-1 with Jordan Martinook.
Yep.
And he keeps it and shoots. And Bobrovsky swatted this puck away with his chicken wing glove side like it was not. Dude, it was one of those saves where Bob's head doesn't move at all.
Yeah.
He's like, I know exactly what you're doing,
bitch.
Dude.
Yeah.
And those are the times where I'm like, Jesus Christ, this goalie is so locked in. That said, Jordan Staal, I think is one of the most interesting players ever. This guy's making $6 million this year. He signed a 10-year, $60 million contract after he got traded to the Hurricanes.
And he's deep in it, right?
Yeah, it's his last year.
Yeah.
He's the captain of the team. He logs a decent amount of minutes. We've talked about how, he equalized Bergeron for a stretch. He's a really good matchup, but we never really see his name in the running for Selke. Certainly not anymore. This guy, this season, in 81 games, good for you.
Yeah, for real.
Had 34 points, 17 and 17. And in these playoffs, he's got 8 points, 2 goals, 6 assists in 13 games. I'm not a Carolina Hurricanes fan. And I know it's the last year of his deal. He's an older player, and he's your leader. This guy, I think, is... I don't know if he's hurting or helping your team.
Oh, really?
Truly.
I think he's helping, dude, because that's good production from him. 8 and 13 for him. That's great.
Dude, 34 points in 81 games is fucking puke garbage if you're making $6 million. I don't give a shit if it's the end of his contract.
Agreed. That's what I'm saying. The playoff 8 and 13 is awesome.
Yeah, I just think
that's way better than what he was doing.
You're 2 and 6. He's been pretty quiet recently. And the bigger thing for me is Jordan Martinook has been a killer.
Yeah.
And, it's a bang, bang play, whatever. But I just laugh at Jordan Staal shooting that puck.
It's
I would have given that puck to Martinook so fast and been like this, go do something, dude. But I just think he has been, these games are frustrating. Mm-hmm. You've lost 2 in OT. 1 almost went to 5 OTs. Yeah. I don't think Jordan Staal has done jack shit in this series.
I got to check, but I think you're right.
And that is just one of those things where I'm like, dude, that frustrates me if I'm a Canes fan.
It's like that Yandel story, that Yandel Gretzky story. Brian, there's this guy, Keith Yandel, great, Massachusetts guy, legend, NHLer. He told a story where he was when he was young, he was at a Gretzky camp, and Gretzky came. Gretzky's elite in the NHL, and Yandel's a prospect. And they get there, and they're scrimmaging, and Yandel comes down on 2-on-1 with Wayne, and he looks at Wayne, and then just shoots it. And it gets saved, and they get to the bench and change. And he said that Wayne sat down next to him and goes, "You got a TV at your house?" He's like, "Yeah, I would maybe don't look me off next time.
Who I am?
You want to just slide that one over, and I'll fucking score, you moron." And yeah, I wish Martinook had looked at Staal on the bench and said, "Hey, buddy, you've been watching the last few games that we've been playing in."
That's what I'm saying, dude. Clown. And I listen. I know he's an emotional leader. He's had a phenomenal NHL career.
Yeah.
But, he's absolutely silent in this series so far, and yeah, something that has been catching my eye these past 3 games.
Yep.
Obviously that game ends power play for the Cats in OT, bang bang, like that. The pass to Tkachuk, the pass,
great play,
was so filthy. Love how Matty goes, get off the ice again,
dude. Hits him with it again, Dan. And
so funny, so obvious too. Like you score that goal, you look up, you're in your corner, and you're like, "This, let's get the fuck out of here, dude."
Oh, and
let's head back to Florida.
Someone said, I can't remember if it was after game 1 or game 2, but one of the post game people were asking him a question like, "What were you saying?" or whatever, and he goes, he said he was saying, "Bus in 10, bus in 10." Bus in 10, like we're on the bus in 10.
Mm-hmm.
And the Panthers like tweeted the quote about that, and I tweeted back at them like this: I need bus in 10 on a fucking t-shirt.
Yeah.
Right now, dude. And I will buy 20 of them. Like, are you kidding me? That's such a sick, like that would be my rallying cry. And I also I forget who I said it, but I was like, I hope Matty Tkachuk scores the OT winner to clinch the cup and just bounces. I hope they score and they're like, oh dude, the cup, it's out. You can lift it up. Yeah. And he's like, no, I'm in the locker room, dude. Bus in 10. We'll see you next year.
God, that kid, 2 OT winners in games 1 and 2 on the road. He's proven to be the biggest killer, the most clutch big game player in these playoffs.
Tied the NHL record for 3rd overtime goal in a playoffs.
Yep.
Which is sick.
He's out of his mind. And yeah, here we are tonight, game 3, 1-0 win.
They're frustrated.
30-plus save shutout for Bobrovsky, first in his playoff career. He's got 71, was right, Brian? 71 straight saves.
High 60s.
65 or 67 or something like that. But I mean, God, the guy is just so locked in. This team is playing exactly how they want to play. I don't think, do you feel good at all if you're Carolina?
Not really. Here's a few things that I have. The Cats, I've been so impressed by their immediate fight back. It was on display in the Bruins that we're down 3-1 and they can fight back there, but I more mean, and I might be completely making this up, so please fact check me, but I swear to God, in that Toronto series, Toronto would score, and then within 2 minutes, the Canes had scored right back. Mm-hmm. And in last night, game 2, or 2 nights ago, I keep saying that, but whatever game 2 was, Canes score right away. Boom, Canes on the board first. They're going to win. We're back in the series, and it's like, the Cats score immediately, and it was called reverse back, but like Eric Stahl hit the bar 30 seconds before that. Like the Canes score, and the Panthers have already hit the bar and then scored in a minute, dude.
Yeah.
And it's just so deflating when you finally get the lead or you finally get one back and the other team's like, bang, goal. It's like it never happened.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God. So that has been something that the Canes and the Leafs and the Bees have had no answer for. I think that the Canes are frustrated. Like, just like I said it with Wyatt Johnson almost scored in overtime. Jordan Stahl almost scored in overtime in game 2 right away, and then like bang, it's right down your throat. It was actually a decent shot that was blocked by Mark Stahl. So little family barbecue on the 4th of July going to be awkward, but they have chances. That's what I'm trying to tell the boys. That we've got chances. We're hitting the post. We've got all these bad bounces. So you got that. I guess you try to hang your hat on. That's a little helpful. The only potential good news, and Brian, maybe you can find this. Barkov left this game at the end of the first, and he got banged in like what looked like the most meaningless play of all time. When I came, he didn't come back for the whole second. When we came in here for the third, it's on mute, so I didn't see if he was playing, and I can't recall seeing him. If something weird happened, it looks nothing. Like I can't even believe he was hurt at all. But like, let's say they're like,
but it's a lower body.
You just had the weirdest knee tear of all time, and you're out. Then maybe it's Flyers David Krejci, and you're like, oh shit, Krejci broke his hand. We're up 3-0. Who cares? And you don't realize how much Barkov does for that team. And
I mean that could be utterly devastating. But it is, that's something to keep an eye on. It's when you look at this Florida team and the way that they've played, the way that they battle through every challenge and the scrappy game that they can play. You're up 3-0. You've got a game at home. You've got, this next game at home, and then you got another one in game 6 if you need it. But Carolina has 4 games to win 4 games. Mm-hmm. There's no way you look at this Florida team and go, yeah, you're going to choke 4 straight games.
Here's my,
and in fact, if they did, they would that would be the most gutting thing of all time with how this team's playing. So I just don't think it's possible. I truly do not think it's possible.
Here are my 2 questions for you, predicting the future. This reminds me a little bit, 2013 year, Hawks beat the Bees. Bees were in that epic down, I'm pretty sure down 3-1, certainly down 3-2, but down 3-1 series to the Leafs. Came all the way back. You get that crazy Bergeron goal, one of the most iconic, fun Bruins memories ever. 7-game series, but then you're buzzing a little bit because you won a few in a row. They won 3 in a row against Toronto, 2-3 in a row. Then immediate sweep of the Penguins, I think, and then immediate gentleman sweep of the Rangers, and then a little time off, and then lose to the Hawks.
Yeah,
and the Bees were injured, and blah blah blah. A lot of shit went down. The Panthers are following that same script. Down 3-1, get hot, win a brutal 7-game series, but win it by getting really hot at the end and winning a bunch in a row, and then immediate gentleman sweep of the Leafs, and then just say immediate sweep of the Canes. Are you at all, if Dallas pulls their way and that one goes 7, are you at all like, man, I didn't need that time off for Bobrovsky?
Yeah.
Protect our goalies.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where, dude, it's like the fucking...
Nothing you can do. You can't control it.
Yeah, and it's like the President's Cup thing.
Just
I'm
win.
like, if you think about that shit, you're fucking mentally weak.
Yeah.
Fuck off. Just play.
Well, that one's a little bit different. I'm not saying they're mentally weak. I'm saying sometimes it's hard to replicate game reps.
Yep, no doubt. But I'm saying, like, just don't let it get in your head. Just like, keep trying to play. But it is undoubtedly a thing.
I think if I told Panthers fans you're definitely sweeping and you had a choice, I think they would go, I hope the Western Conference sweeps too. Just
of course. But at the same time, it's like one of those things where I'm not mad at you for asking the question, but I just roll my eyes at it because I'm like, shut the fuck up and just play, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, it sucks, but that's the hand you're dealt. Like,
you got to keep going.
Just
try to win.
I bet some guys would be like this. Yeah, it was great taking care of it in 4 games and not having stress of a 7-game series and the wear and tear of those extra 3 games. Like, fucking shut up.
Also, good point.
You get dealt hands, just fucking play your game and play how it folds out. But no doubt,
but just something to think about.
That is a thing.
Could cool them down.
The Barkov thing is huge. It looks like Radko Gudas was asked after the game what he thinks about it, and he said he's the best player in the world, so it changes things. Which is like
not very encouraging answer.
Yeah, like you would hope to hear that he's like, saw him in the locker room, he's totally.
And
fine.
it did say lower body. It looked like he was holding his arm.
It's lower body is what is all over.
Shit.
It's an undisclosed, but looks like it's lower body. But he did not come back to the game.
Bryce, see if you can find the video of the injury because it is the weirdest thing. It's the most least contact you've ever seen. While he's looking for that, Dan, one more question for you. In the same way that we were like, all Toronto has to do is get out of the first round, and then they did, and then as they were getting swept, or it appeared to that they were getting swept, we were kind of like, actually, this doesn't look as good anymore. Like if you got out of the first round, but then just got swept. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, that doesn't look like a lower body injury.
Like literally the most nothing contact I've ever seen in my life.
Huh.
I'm like, what happened, dude?
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's something to keep an eye on, folks. Like if he's hurt, that's bad. And then I mean, frankly, dude, you look at it, it's like, you're up 3-0, but we had a 4 OT loss, an OT loss, and then a 1-0 loss on a Bob standing on his head performance. You get a couple more bounces. All 3 of those games go the other way, and now you've lost your number 1 center.
Yep. So in the same way we were like, Toronto, that sucks. You barely, I don't even know if it counts. Right before this series started, we had a really nice conversation with the Canes being like, with the injuries you have, you did it. Yes. Like nothing to complain about. You made it this far. Does that change at all for you if you get swept by the Panthers? Or you're like, no, we made it. It just sucks.
Not really. I mean, getting swept sucks no matter what, dude. Like it blows, especially with the NHL, man, all these teams are so good. It's like, you got to get some wins here. They're upset, no doubt. But for me as a unbiased fan of the game, I don't look at this and be like, geez, Carolina, that blows.
Yeah.
Especially with how they've gone. Mm-hmm. If you got piss pumped 4 straight games, I'd be like, yikes, guys. That was brutal.
Yeah.
But I mean, like the way that they've lost all 3 of these games is like they're battling out here. They're winning the shot battles. It's like fucking A. So no, I don't think that they should feel bad. I think they still consider their injuries. You're going up against a team of destiny. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah, for real.
So no, not at all.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, guys, that's it. Panthers are up 3-0 in the series. We got Vegas Dallas tomorrow night. Vegas up 2-0. They're headed back down to Texas to see what's what. Wild conference final so far. But keep an eye on that Barkov injury because that might change everything. But until next time.
Skate hard.